guys, how's it going? It is a beautiful, frosty, chilly morning out here. You can see that I'm standing at the front of our property in front of the gate that we just recently had installed, because this is where I'm hoping to end up at the end of the day. Our project today is to make 2 wreaths for each side of the gate. Here's a look at the gate. You can see we've had the pads poured for the brick pillars, and that gray pipe, that's conduit, so we can run electric up, so we have lights out the front of the pillars. And I do think we're gonna do wings. I found some wings that I really like a picture of, so I think we'll do that. I'm just so excited about it. We've enjoyed having this so much. It's so pretty, but I think it will look extra festive to have 2 wreaths on either side. And I think I'm gonna hang them with red ribbon so that it pops. But boy, look through the gate at the grass over there. Look at how frosty it is today. Benjamin and I were up early this morning. We built a fire and just enjoyed it. It's been so nice. But this works out perfectly to do this project today, because down at the garden center, they're doing their garland and wreath making class. They've got 2 of them going on today. So I'm hoping just to sneak in to the back and make my wreaths along with everybody else. It always feels super festive, and do my best to capture the whole process. We've done so many wreath making tutorials in the past. We might have to link one of them down below. But the first stop we're gonna actually make is Joann's, because I need to find as big of a wreath form as I can. The one I saw down at the garden center, the biggest one was 16 inches, which would work. But if we can find one that's just a little bit bigger, that might be better. So anyway, we're gonna run there and then go down to the garden center. Oh, you guys, these are 24-inch. This is perfect. All right, here we are. I'm here a bit early, calm before the storm. Good morning.
Hello. No, we were just kind of like rehashing the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa, look at this.
Wow.
I found some 24-inchers
Nice.
Whoa.
What are those for?
for the front gate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you want to set up right here on this?
I will set up where I'll wait until everyone's here, and then I'll just set up wherever there's room, because I can make them on a floor.
Or you could
Too.
do it up here.
Right. Yeah, I could do it wherever. I don't care. I see a little example picture.
Well, no, those are, we're having to really squeeze people in this year. So those are like, you need 3 per table. So that's your spot.
Oh,
That's
boy.
everybody.
These are placeholders.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to have about 50, but we've got 59 coming.
And there's 2 classes today, and both are
Yes.
overbooked.
Somebody messed
Gotcha.
up the scheduling. I don't know who. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody did.
She's not sitting in this room
No.
currently. Nice. And Mom's got all of her stuff laid out.
Yeah.
So you'll do your little explanation
Yeah,
to
and then-
everyone.
Also, I'm going to do an explanation on how to do garlands.
Nice.
Which
With the twine
with
form.
the twine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same as wreath. It's just a little bit more squirrely feeling, especially when you very first start out.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to
You're
have
like, oh.
this, because if you don't have this,
Mhm.
this wire stretches.
Yeah.
So you'll have your garland all nicely done with your wire.
Right.
And you pick it up,
Mhm.
and it all stretches and comes apart. But if you
Unravels.
have this worked in there with your wire, this
Uh-huh.
doesn't stretch.
Nice.
tight together.
Yeah.
Keeps it tight.
And it's nice to have little piles already started, so you can easily make your bundles.
Mhm.
Prep work is
Yeah.
so much of every project.
Well, I have
key.
this trusty little assistant named Monica,
Nice.
and she does this for me.
Nice.
I
Some
don't know how
bows.
People don't do that. Like pre-made
Yeah.
piles.
Oh, I know.
It would take so long if you're cutting as you go. Like
Yeah.
just take
Yeah.
the time to make
Make
your
the piles.
it
And
makes it
oh
go
my
fast.
gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this.
We've got a lot.
Look at all of these ribbons. Oh my word. This is like years of collection.
Yeah. Well, and I thought we were really low this year, and I told Mom we need to go load up. And then when I put them up here, I was like,
Yeah, nope.
It's good inventory to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm just going to set my things just back in here. So at this point, you guys, people are just going to start filing in. And I don't know if we just talked about numbers, but we can usually fit about 50 people comfortably in this room, and 59 are signed up. So we'll see what happens. But usually the class starts with a little demonstration by Mom. She just shows everybody kind of the steps to do it. And then everybody's released to make them, and we just walk around and help people as they're making their wreaths. So it's a really fun time. All right, Mom did the demonstration, so now everybody's just going to town making their stuff. So I'm going to set up right here at my mom's table to make mine. So the first thing I need to do is run around and gather all the greens and make some piles so that making the bundles for the wreath goes a lot quicker. Oop. Okay, so now I'm going to attach my wire to the form. So we're just going to weave it in and out until it's nicely secured. And we will not remove the wire until the very end. So it'll just be one really long continuous piece. So something like that. Okay, so I've got some nice noble fir and then also a little bit of cedar. I'm not going to put a bunch of fancy stuff in these wreaths because I'm going to do bright red ribbons hanging it from the gate. So I don't think it needs a lot of extras and it's going to be very exposed. So, you know, if I put things like holly and that sort of thing in it, they wouldn't stay as nice through the whole season. How's it going over there?
Good. Look at this cute ribbon.
Oh yeah, the
Little
gnomes.
sparkly gnomes.
Yep, cute. Okay, so we're just going to start making some bundles. Keep in mind, whatever size of bundle you make in the beginning, that's going to be a good indicator as to the size of your wreath or the thickness of your wreath in the end. I want mine to be fairly substantial, so my bundles are going to look about like this. Okay, then we're going to take our bundle and we're going to lay it right on top of where the wire is connected. And we're going to take the wire and go around 2 or 3 times, pulling really snug. But be careful because the wire can break. Okay, first bundle's attached. I've got my next bundle here, so I'm going to lay it overlapping that first one. And we'll want to sort of, every bundle that we do, we're going to face a little bit differently. So that one's kind of straight on with the wreath form. This one I'm going to kind of put outward a little bit, and the next one will go inward a little bit, and so on and so forth, all the way around the form. So we just grab that same wire without cutting it and draw it down and go around our bundle again. Like so. Third bundle facing a little bit more inside. Okay, so that's our start. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing all the way around. All right, guys, things are going pretty well here. It's looking nice and full, and I'm right to the very end. You can see this little gap where my wire is. So at this point, you just kind of wire in pieces almost individually, tucking them underneath the first bundle that we put in right there. And so this part takes just probably the longest of the whole wreath making experience. And you can always end it right here and put your bow. If you're going to hang it with the bow or a wreath hanger, you can naturally leave it a little bit skinnier right here. So really no worries. You can use a hot glue gun too to put pieces in. I've done that before. Okay guys, so you can see that I've finished it. It looks nice and full here, and I've cut my wire. And you want to cut a decent sized piece so that you've got lots to tie off to the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around 2 more times just to make sure everything's nice and secure, and then I flip the whole wreath over and just secure the wire to the back of the wreath form. It's super easy. All right guys, one down. 1 more to go. Isn't that pretty? I just weighed it and it weighs 12 pounds. I think that's probably the heaviest wreath I've ever made. I've definitely made garlands that were super long and heavier than that, but that's how people are charged for this class. There's no fee for signing up. All you have to pay for is the wreath form, your paddle wire, and then we weigh it, and then they're charged by the pound of how many greens they actually use. All right, so now I'm gonna start in on this second wreath, and hopefully it looks fairly similar to this one. Okay guys, so the first class of the day is over and Bree and the kids right here are getting the floors swept and we're restocking greens too. So they get in this huge load of greens and because they have 4 classes, they split it into quarters and then they put the boxes of greens under all the tables, kind of distribute them around the room. So that's what's going on right now and I'm almost done with my second wreath. I've got about a foot left to go. All right, guys, here are my 2 wreaths. Do they look even? Yeah. Ish? Yeah. Oh, they're heavy. Woo. All right, guys, we made it back home. So now we can put the wreaths on the gate and they turned out really good. They're 12 pounds each. They're huge. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then there's the other one. And then Benjamin made one with my mom's help down there. Isn't that cute? He wants to put it in his room. So we're just going to set that aside for now. And here's my plan. What I want to do first is figure out where the wreath needs to be. So we're going to count the whatever, what do you call them? Metal pieces. These right here. We'll figure out the center one. I'm going to tie this up here, which I'm just now thinking, do I need a stepladder? Probably. And then we're going to suspend the wreath and get it where we want it to be. And then I've got zip ties to just zip tie as close as we can to the gate. And then I'll put the ribbon on. So the ribbon will be like not part of the infrastructure. It'll just be the decorative part. I think that'll go well. And I'm kind of thinking they go right in here. We'll have to play with it a bit. I've also got my red velvet fabric and red ribbon. This might work. I just got this piece because I thought, well, one of 2 things. I can make a table runner out of this, or I can cut some really wide pieces to be like a very wide ribbon. And it might be that I end up just doing a big bow on each one of the wreaths instead of making it look like the red ribbon is kind of the part that's hanging it onto the fence. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. I've also got my glue gun and then our zip ties. I think that's all we're going to need. So let's get it done. Okay, I'm going to attempt to lasso. Throw this up and hopefully it hooks onto the right fleur-de-lis. Did it. Okay, now we can cut that. All right, the wreaths are done and hung and they look so pretty. So I went with just a large velvet bow and everything is zip tied to the fence and to the wreath and all over the place. So we should be pretty secure. Even if the wind blows. I mean, of course the wind will blow this, but I think what I'll do is I'm gonna rev up that hot glue gun. I'm just gonna put a little bead of hot glue here just so it kind of glues back to the wreath. And same with the little tails here, so that it kind of stays put a little bit, hopefully. Now, I did start off by centering them. If I centered the wreath, it would be right here. But it doesn't look centered when I have it over that far, and it's just because of the size difference. You know, it's so much wider here and so much skinnier here that it just looked better to sort of center it by eye, I guess you could say, and maybe like fill up more of the big space instead of taking up some of the small space. And it's something we can play with every year. You know, we can try maybe next year doing the ribbon up over, like I had thought about doing this year. And it's something we still, you know, you still could do that if we decide to. But I like the simplicity of it. I like the pop of red. I like how simple the wreaths are themselves. So all I used was silver fir tips right here, and then a little bit of incense cedar. And I didn't even use the seeded incense cedar, which has like little yellow puffs on the end of it, because I just wanted it to be sort of monochromatic in a way. And I think that they just look very striking that way, and it smells good. I can smell it like out here in the open. I can smell all of that beautiful fir smell in my hands. I have to go use some mayonnaise to get that off. And here's a view from the other side. Look at that. I love how the velvet turned out, especially. I think that's so beautiful. Let's pop around the back here so we can take a look at the zip ties. So we've got the string, which just kind of disappears. You can hardly see that from the front. And then, I mean, ideally we'd have black zip ties, but we ran out because, you know, we used them on those spheres. So I've got 2 on either side and then one that holds the bow in. Same over here. Just need to tuck in the tail. There we go. And you can see some of the detail from the back, which is fun. I also managed to cut the velvet in a way that I ended up with a fairly large piece of it, so I can still use it on the table somewhere. So I cut off the, you know, this, I don't know what they call that, cut off that edge, and then I lined it all up and folded it over, and then just cut where the fold was, so I'd have 2 fairly equal pieces. And now I have this nice piece. I love it. Use that for something different. So anyway, what a fun project today. And I'm guessing once we have the brick pillars with the lights on them, I'm gonna probably want to put the wreaths either around the lights or right below the lights. So this might, I don't know, or maybe we'll want to put them on the gate again. I don't know. So it might be the last time we see wreaths on the gate, or we might just change it up from year to year. Anyway, guys, that is gonna be it for today's project. It didn't take too long to make the wreaths. I would say, maybe 30 minutes per wreath once I had everything prepped, which is not too bad. It takes longer when you use more elements. When you're trying to make it look very balanced and you've got, you know, holly and incense cedar and different kinds of fir and juniper, I don't know, it takes longer to make the bundles and make them look right and make it look like you've spread the elements, the same elements throughout. When you're just using 2 elements that are both kind of green, it doesn't really matter, and it goes really, really quick. But it was fun to be down at the garden center during the wreath making seminars. I was there for the first one today, and then I was there for just the very first part of the second one. The kids and Aaron came down and hung out for a while. We had our lunch brought in down there. So it's just been a beautiful day, and now we're gonna all get together to celebrate my brother's birthday. So it's just a great day overall. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a great holiday season, and we will see you in the next one. Bye. I'm a total ice cube right now. I'm so frozen.